Hey everyone, it's Nicole of NicoleTheLawyer.com, and I am here with my weekly workshop. And today we are going to be covering how to use Facebook Lives, just like these, to create more consistent income and community in your business. And here's the thing, you guys, we always need to be working on bringing new people into our community, right? Because I'm going to be honest, not everyone stays in your community forever, and the length of time that they do stay in your community may vary based on, honestly, like what your business involves, what their struggles are, how long it will take them to solve the problem, that kind of thing, right? So I actually do have people who stay in my community for a long time, but the reality is that not everybody works with you, right? Not everybody chooses to sign up and take action and move to the next level so you can, help them solve their problems and struggles and that kind of thing. And that's why you need to be bringing in new people all the time. And I have found Facebook Lives as an amazing tool to build a closer relationship with my community, right? So I just want to be honest, I know that you guys want clients from Facebook Lives, but many of you are just kind of randomly hopping on Facebook Live without a strategy, without clear talking points. And because of that, you are not actually utilizing Facebook Lives as a tool to bring clients in. Some of you, honestly, may not even be trying to actually be strategic about this. Some of you may have even tried Facebook Lives. Maybe you did a Facebook Live once and freaked out because there was no one on it. Totally normal, secret, trade secret, that's totally normal. Some of you may have tried those Facebook Lives, not even stayed on there because no one was on, right? And it happens, right? Honestly, a lot of people are going to watch this video. Sorry, you guys, this always happens when I try to check out the comments and stuff. So anyways, a lot of you are, a lot of people here right now listening to this video aren't on live. A lot of you are watching the replay, right? So if I only did Facebook Lives because people were showing up live, I never get anywhere. I never get more people showing up live. My target audience, who you guys are, happen to be really busy business owners. You tell me you love the strategies and tips I share, and you watch the videos and you think they're helpful and you get to know me. But I'm gonna be honest, you guys, my audience, aren't really good at watching them live. Imagine if I didn't do them just for that reason, right? Because you guys weren't showing up live all the time. If you're on, say hello. If you're watching the replay because you were busy and you have a lot going on, but you still want to improve your business and grow it more, just say replay, right? I'd love to know who you guys are and get to know you a little bit better. So anyways, we're going to dive into some really important things today, right? We're going to cover the process for going live and if you need to invest in a third-party tool. We're going to talk about my quick makeup routine so that I feel confident on camera. The steps I take to make sure that Facebook Lives actually do create consistent income growth for me, right? Because otherwise that you do have to wonder, is this something you should even be doing? If it's not actually contributing to your business or helping others, should you really be doing them, right? We're going to talk about the one thing you need to do at the end of every Facebook Live if you want to build community, if you want to sell, if you want to make money and have your business thrive, not just survive. And I'm going to give you actually at the very end, if you stay on, I'm going to give you 5 ideas, 5 topics that you can use no matter what your business is. No matter what your business is, I'm going to give you those topic ideas so that way you can actually use them, get on live, start talking, have either 5 straight days of content or 5 weeks of content if you just want to do one a week. But I know that the content freeze is a huge thing that holds you back. Okay, I have a little actual page with notes, which is very rare today, but I really wanted to make sure I covered everything. So let's talk about it, right? The process for going live and if you need a third-party tool. Now, a third-party tool is something that allows you to stream to your Facebook page, to your Facebook, right, accounts, and it allows kind of different options. So like, for example, right now I'm using Zoom. The reason I'm using Zoom is because honestly, I actually didn't need to use Zoom today, but a lot of times you guys, I have slides and I need to share my screen at the same time. And when you go live straight on your Facebook business page, you can't share your screen and be on the screen at the same time. If I use Zoom, I can do that. If I use Ecamm, I can share my screen at the same time. I don't know if I'm in the corner of it, but I can also do that. Ecamm and Zoom are the two tools that I use the most for lives. I like them because I love Ecamm because you can like schedule in advance and have that little post up that lets people know when it's starting, or at least you used to be able to. Facebook does change things frequently. So things break. That used to work. I love Zoom because also Zoom is really easy. And with Ecamm too, you can bring on other people, right? And I love Zoom when I'm doing like a joint training, a joint workshop, when I did all my summer camp trainings this summer. So that's why I usually use Zoom a lot of the time. But like I said, the other reason I like to use Zoom is it makes it easier. I have a recording of this. And then it makes it easier for my VA to go and pull the recording, edit the recording, put it on YouTube, and then create a blog post from it, a replay for it. So we get multiple uses out of it. But here's the deal. The process of going live just using Facebook is really easy. We can all do it. Now the question I get a lot is, should I go live on my personal Facebook or should I go live on my business page? Drop a comment below which one you usually go live from and if this has ever been a question for you. I'm going to be honest with you. You need to go live from your Facebook business page. Why? You may see that there was a period where people were using personal Facebooks for their lives a lot. Actually, I haven't seen it in a while recently, but truthfully, it was driving me crazy. I don't want people's personal profile lives on my page. If it's a Facebook business page, awesome. Like I want to go support you and I want to do that. I don't want you using your personal page for it. The reason being, one, that's against Facebook's terms of service. They were really starting to crack down on that, right? They don't want you using the personal profile for business sales. So if you're doing that frequently, you're going to get, their attention is going to be on you and not in a good way. So just kind of keep that in mind, right? It's not a good idea if you're doing business stuff to be using your profile Facebook Live. Go on your business page. This is also good because if you want to boost it, if you want to try to get it to more people, you can do that. If you want to actually see better engagement and see who's watching it, you can do that, right? Plus, let's be real. Are you friends with all your potential clients? No, they can't find it on your Facebook profile, right? So get it on your Facebook page and do it there. Stick to the business page. Really, you're just gonna, go like you're creating a post, choose a live, write a description. This is the other thing I see people do. They don't do a description, right? Or they're like, write one sentence. If you look now at the Facebook description of mine, you can see I am saying like, what are you struggling with? Are you struggling with these things? Then I'm saying what you're gonna learn in this video, right? Do make sure that you are giving people a clear idea of what they're going to watch and almost like a little summary. I'm a reader. If I don't see anything engaging about it, I'm not going to watch it. People aren't going to be more likely to watch because they don't know what's in it, right? Don't worry about giving too much information or telling too much. Like people are going to be more engaged and want to hear more. Once again, if you look at the examples on my Facebook page, facebook.com/LaLoya-Nicole for my videos, you can see I do write a good description, right? Thank you. But I do mean, I just write a solid description. I don't give one sentence. Those drive me crazy. They drive other people crazy. And once again, people are less likely to watch. The other thing is, once again, that I always get questions about is what tools do you need? Which camera do you need? I use a Logitech camera. I have it on right now. Sometimes I don't use it. And I have a lighting ring, a New Era lighting ring. Both combined, I think I spent $150 on these. They work great, right? Here's the deal. You don't need all of that, right? But good lighting works best. So even if you have good natural lighting, like today, it's actually gray and rainy and freezing. So I don't have the best lighting. So, it was important for me to have the light, especially because my living room light broke the other day. But you do need good lighting. You don't want to be dark. You don't want to be in a corner. You don't want to be like hunched over, just to make sure that you are really just have it's clarity, right? It's clarity. Try not to have shadows on your face. Like I see people just do it in really dark corners and stuff. And I get it. And like, it sucks because right now I do have the light and I do the camera, but I didn't purchase them until like a year ago. So we're talking about 5-6 years without a camera and lighting. And I was totally fine. And but like I had to be careful when I did videos. I couldn't just do videos at night. If I did videos at night, I had to like direct the desk light right at me, right? I had to sit facing the light. And I see people not doing that and it looks dark and it looks like they're doing it from a closet or from their under their bed covers. And honestly, it doesn't look super strong or professional. Now we don't need high level professional. Like this doesn't look crazy high level professional right now, right? But we do need it to at least be clear. We need to show you making effort. We need to show that you're a professional, right? So that's really, really important. The other thing is, should I use a script, right? This is another thing. You don't have to have a script prepared, but I do recommend you have bullet points. This one today kind of had more intense bullet points for me just because there's so many different little things I didn't want to forget. But typically I usually just have a sticky note or two with like a couple of bullet points on them. Riff, be natural, right? Don't be afraid of some ums and likes. Just be natural. Don't be reading a page by page script off your thing or like this, right? Like don't use scripts because they will make you not look at the camera and will be very boring and you'll use the same monotone voice, right? Like boring and I'm not even looking at you. Horrible. The one thing to remember, and if you guys made these mistakes, we all make them. You should see my first videos. I've actually done a breakdown of one. But you want to be looking at the camera. You want to be making eye contact with your audience, even though honestly, I don't see you out there. I don't know who you are. Once again, if you're watching, say hey, say replay below, right? So this is just really, really important things to remember. Don't go crazy like manufacturing it like you're in a production studio, but there's just those casual things that you need in place to go live, right? Make sure it's quiet, use headphones and a mic if you need to. I don't even have one right now. I have one, I barely ever use it, but it's like too many plugs for my MacBook. But just, don't go crazy, right? Sorry, I just want to think. Okay, so let's talk about prepping, right? You want to feel confident. So once again, don't go crazy with the makeup, right? You guys, like, I think people create too much work for them to go on live. Now, here's the deal. I have very bad skin. My skin, I'm going to be straight up honest. A few years ago, I was barely able to do lives because I was having such bad acne breakouts, like cystic acne, that I just couldn't do anything about. I ended up, thank God, being introduced by another business owner to this product called Curology, which was amazing. It's like prescription strength, but you can get it online and it's been like life-changing for my skin. If you want to find out more about that, go to NicoleLaloy.com/Curology. I think you can get a free month with that. Because we can't have you not going on or not feeling good about yourself when you're on, right? And that's like what I said happened to me a few years ago when I had this burst of acne. I just really couldn't even look at myself on the camera. I felt horrible. I felt so bad. Now, nobody's judging me but me, but I also want to feel good. You need to feel good. You don't need to like overdo it. You don't need professional hair and makeup. I have like a 2-minute routine that I do right before my videos. I actually didn't even do it right before today. I did it earlier today. Like I said, I have bad skin. So I always do a fresh layer of concealer. I do some blush. It's okay to be a little heavier with the makeup because it doesn't show up as much on camera. It looks like you have nothing on. So do some blush. I actually put my blush straight on my eyelids to save time and not have to do any shading. Then I just do some quick eyeliner and a mascara. That is it, right? I usually honestly don't do lipstick, but I know a lot of people who do and they look amazing. That's it. Just want clear skin. I also run the hair straightener through my hair because I personally like straight hair. Fluff up your hair, comb it, whatever, try to give it a little bit of body. Like I actually like really flat straight hair. So I do try to give it a little bit of body. Otherwise it looks like too flat and straight. So those are just some things to do. And that's how I get ready. But now I want to really just go into the steps you can take to make sure that your Facebook lives are creating consistent income. Now, I think it's important to remember, you guys, this is just one way of connecting with your audience and nurturing your relationship with your audience, right? And like I said, here's the deal. Facebook, don't be waiting for like hundreds of people to come on, right? Because you got to build up to that. And even I based on my audience, still don't have hundreds of people on live at once because they are just really busy in their businesses. And the reason they end up hiring me is because they don't want to be as busy. They want to make more money, but they don't want to be as busy, right? They want consistent income growth without working harder. So truthfully, my clients aren't on here watching these things because they don't have time to, right? Like come to them live. They do absolutely watch them later. And it increases our connection. They feel like they know me. They feel like they like me. They feel like they trust me. They get a feel for my style. I'm a really verbal person, so writing doesn't work as well for me. Me showing up here and talking to you guys and hanging out with you guys and sharing my tips and strategies works well, right? But here's the deal. You need to not worry. Like if you want to create consistent income, you have to show up consistently. So one, commit to it, right? How often are you coming on? And can you keep it the consistent day and time? That's really a great way to do it. I know someone asked, should I do more than one video? Here's the deal. If you're not really being strategic with that first one and not really working on it and not utilizing it to get results, don't start adding more in. I'm not sure where you're at with that, but make sure that your one is actually really being helpful and used properly to the fullest extent, right? Like, are you sending it to your list to get replays? Are people engaging on it? Are people watching it? Are there views, right? Like that kind of thing is really important. Or people telling you like they've seen your videos and that's why they contacted you. Are you reminding people to contact you, right? So once again, like it's not about quantity, it's really about quality of the videos. Now, I personally actually like to hop on for more sporadic ones in addition to a planned one. I've been taking a little break from that just because I got a little burnt out with my summer camp training series this summer, but I miss it when I don't do it. I just need to have good energy for it. If you're going to try to do so many that you don't have good energy for them, don't do it. You really need to, and I don't always do this myself, you need to 10x your energy on these things. So it takes a lot, it can take a lot out of you, especially for someone like me who's more introverted, right? You need to 10x your energy because when you're on camera, it doesn't show up at the same level as it does in person. So you have to kind of go all out for it, right? It's funny because this past weekend I was at a leadership conference and I actually attended something on public speaking and body language. And the guy was saying how you have to really like stare at people, make eye contact with people. And listen, when you're talking to a large crowd, they don't know it's you, but they feel like it's you, right? So you have to really stay and stare at them for a long time. And, you don't want to do the like swiping thing, right? Where you're like, circling your head the whole time and just scanning over people and glancing over them. So he made us practice and he made us stare at people in our small group while we were doing our practice. And it was like, first of all, it was so uncomfortable, I think more for the other person than me, although it's not comfortable for me too. But it was funny because it was like, you need to 10x the amount of time that you would make eye contact with someone than you normally would. And it's kind of like that for this, right? You have to 10x your energy and your voice and your mannerisms to a certain extent, right? So that people really can get a feel for your personality through the camera, through the screen, because kind of the energy like is downplayed a little bit. So if you really want to have consistent income from this, you have to show up consistently and with energy. Don't come on being blah. Don't come on being like, bleh. That's why sometimes I don't do them as frequently as I'd like. Because if my energy is a little off that day, I know it's not going to be helpful for you guys to come on. It's not going to be helpful for me to come on and bring that energy into the mix. So, one, commit consistently, right? Don't necessarily do more. Focus on making the ones you're doing better first. Get people to engage so you know who your most engaged audience members are. Give them comments, give them things to comment on, give them opportunities to ask questions, right? And honestly, you guys, do not forget that you also have to actually, talk to the people on the replay, right? Don't just, say, hey, if you're watching the replay, do this. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment. If you're watching a replay, I'll follow up with you, right? With your questions. Encourage those people on the replay, because the more the Facebook sees engagement, the more the more the algorithm eats it up and shares it with more people. So it's okay if people are commenting after the fact, right? That's good. Respond to every comment too, and ask questions of people so that they respond back. One, to build genuine connection and be helpful. It should be kind of common sense, but sometimes it's not because we overthink it and we feel annoying or whatever. But two, also because that means that Facebook's going to share it with more people. People are going to see comments on there and wonder what they're missing out on. Once again, also speak to the people in the replay. 95% of people watch the replay. Do not worry if people are not on live. And then the other thing that you really have to do at the end of every Facebook Live, if you want to build community, is have a call to action. Give them something else to do. Do they need to sign up for your freebie for the next steps? Do they need to book a consult? Do they need to share this with a friend? Give them something to do. The more that they take action with it, the more they're going to come back and strengthen that relationship and keep talking to you and keep coming back to you for more things. It's truly so helpful and such an amazing ability to build relationships that way. This is the call to action though. And you also want the call to action to be in your written description, right? So my call to action for you guys, even though we're not done, I'm still going to cover the 5 ideas you can use right now for Facebook Lives, is to book a free Q4, quarter 4 breakthrough session with me. I've opened up space for 5 breakthrough assessments. If you're struggling for that community and consistent income and you want 3 things to do, maybe Facebook Lives are part of that, right? Then I'm going to give you that plan, totally free consult. I've never offered these before, so I'm kind of excited about them. But I want you in shape for 2020, right? So book that at NicoleLedoy.com/consult. Now that is also in the written description. So if you need the link, go to the link. See how I just did that? This is my real call to action for you guys, but this is also a great example of how you make things very clear for people. People don't always make it to the end either. Let's be honest. Like the majority of people aren't going to make it to the end of the video. So make sure that you can be mentioning your main call to action earlier throughout the video. So head on over to that description, put it in the description so people could see it. Go look at mine so you can see how it's done. Okay, now here's the deal, you guys. I get it. The biggest issue is content freeze. It happens to me too, right? I'm someone who's very I want to talk about what I want to talk about. But here's the reality is that then that's not going to lead to consistent or quality, right? So it's really good to have a content bank, to have an idea of topics that you can bring up that are actually helpful. So you're not just talking about what you saw on the news last night and it has nothing to do with your audience, right? Or why you're in a fight with your partner or whatever, right? So here are 5 ideas that you can use right now for Facebook Lives so that you don't experience a content freeze. You can, like I said, use these 1 a day for the next 5 days or 1 a week for the next 5 weeks, right? So 1, talk about the biggest mistake you made that they can relate to. So for example, one of the mistakes that I like to use for this example is, I can talk about, for example, right now, I could talk about with you guys how I didn't really have a strategy at first for Facebook Lives. I just hop on and talk about whatever. And I didn't give people call to actions. And as a result, it didn't help me grow my income. It didn't help me grow my community. But once I started changing those things and transforming them through the steps I just told you about, everything was different, right? Or I might talk about how I accidentally created a 9-to-5 job for myself out of my business at first because, I just had one-to-one clients. I was getting booked out and burnt out and I didn't like that. So luckily I added in multiple income streams and now I help you guys add in multiple income streams. So what's a mistake that you make or that your clients make that they can relate to and how overcoming it will help them have the life that they want or get the results that they want? Number 2, share a case study or transformation story of one of your clients, right? So people want to hear about other people. People want to hear about people's wins. People want to hear about people's transformations. I can tell you guys, one of my mastermind clients last year, she's amazing. She started doing Facebook Live. She started doing a weekly Thursday one. And actually, she was doing more recorded ones and posting them, but same thing. She was doing some lives too, but she was wasting a lot of time and causing herself a lot of stress because her process wasn't great. She kept trying to alter her background, hang up new pictures or do it somewhere different. And the reality is that doesn't matter. She was focusing on the details that didn't matter, which made it hard for her to show up, made it hard for her to get out of her comfort zone. So, I helped her create a plan for that. And as a result, she showed up better. She had more fun. She was able to do more of them and she saved tons of hours in overthinking, right? So this is a case study study or transformation, how can you do this for your clients, right? And, you know, it could be anonymous. It could have kind of details tweaked. I get permission from my clients when I share their wins and stuff. My clients give me permission. So I'm always like making sure to be cautious with that, but it's totally up to you. Now, a third one that I love to do, this is actually, I'm going to give myself a little bit of credit. I actually love to turn a random life experience into a lesson, into a business lesson, right? So obviously I'm a business strategist, so my thing is business lessons. So for example, the other day I was in New York City 2 days in a row, and both days this larger man, just tall and broad man, came into a very crowded subway situation and really got into my personal space, like fully like hands on the upper rail, like elbows out, like instead of just like this, like full elbows out into my space and the girl next to him on the other side space. So upsetting. It was really upsetting and frustrating. And it just kind of made me think about, you know, women business owners and how our space gets taken up by a lot of men in business, men at home, you know, and how we can't always show up for our businesses the way we need to because our oxygen has been sucked dry by men, and how that affects our businesses. And I'm actually working on a whole personal essay about it, which I never do. But, you know, that's something that now I'm turning into a business lesson. Like, where can you show up? Where can you make sure that your personal space in your business isn't being crowded out by men who really, they're not intentionally doing it. They just feel it's their right. And how can we make it our right to take up more space with our businesses so we can help more people, right? You know, so I'm turning it into a whole lesson. So you can take a life lesson. And what I usually do is like, what happened to me over the last 48 hours? And how does that result to relate to something my clients need to learn? Number 4, share a tool or resource with them. If you're someone who works with stressed out clients, what's a meditation app they can use, right? What's a tool they can use? How can they use it? What does it help them with? Just really go in, stay with the client where they're at, and how they can use this tool or resource. And number 5, this is a fun one. What is the number 1 question you get asked by clients and potential clients the most? I always get asked, like, how can I have multiple income streams without it taking up more time, right? So, you know, that's a question I can answer in the future, which actually I will. But those are the things that you can do. What's a question you get asked a lot by your clients? Okay. Great workshop today, everyone. Make sure you book your Q4 breakthrough call. There's only 5 spots available, NicoleLaloy.com/consult. We're going to go over what you're doing in Q4, the 3 things you need to do to really finish strong and get things going for 2020. All right, let me know if you guys need anything. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for coming today.